What's up, guys? Shockwave640 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Leader Class Grimlock. And I know I'm basically ignoring the voting. I decided I'm not really going to be doing the voting for a while at least, just because every single time I look at it, only like one, maybe two people ever vote. So I'm just not going to be doing it for a while at least, and just kind of reviewing, just random, cycling between it. I'll probably do it like an order. I'll probably do Transformer, Lego something or other, Gundam, and then so on and so forth, and just kind of make a pattern out of it maybe. But today we're going to be looking at Leader Grimlock from the new Studio Series. Or, yeah, I think that's what it's called. But I saw this guy yesterday when I was out in town, and I had to buy him because everywhere else online he's either not available or he's for pre-order only, including the Big Bad Toy Store. So I decided I would just wait off until he actually came out available, and I saw him at the store the other day, and I could not leave the store without him. They had him, and they had Optimus. I didn't buy Optimus just because this guy was like $60. Leaders are expensive. He's the only Leader class Transformer I own, and I know why, just because I'm not really big on Leader Transformers, just because they're a bit too simplistic feeling for my taste, just from watching reviews and things like that, and I just don't really care for their general look or proportions, because they all have very similar proportions and being very big and chunky. But for Grimlock, that really does work. For Grimlock, it works perfectly. I mean, this figure is at least 95% perfect, in my opinion. I think he's probably up there with the third-party or masterpiece Transformers, especially in the way he looks. Now, his dinosaur mode, maybe not quite. A third-party company could probably figure out a way to fix his neck. His neck's really the only part most people have a problem with. I mean, I have no problem with the neck, really. It's just, I think it's a bit too thick. But we'll get into that in just a second. And we got a little baby Peach up there. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to be riding around on giant robot dinosaurs? But anyways, so we're actually going to set Grimlock off to the side, because I do still have the box. I kept it just because I want to keep the Studio Series boxes, and it's just the standard Transformers boxes. Picture Grimlock, he's number 7 in the Studio Series. Autobot Grimlock. Another picture of him there. Picture of some stuff and some things, and cross sales. I'm not going to be picking up the Blackout. I watched a review on it. It's not really all that great. I might be picking up the Starscream though, because I have the deluxe mold. I reviewed it already for Thundercracker, and that's basically that, just upscaled, which is the only problem I had with that mold, was it being small. So this is your standard Transformers box. And inside of the box, it came with this cardboard insert, which is really, really cool. It's got that Shanghai scene, or Hong Kong scene. I don't remember if it was Shanghai or Hong Kong. I want to say that's Shanghai. I don't really know. It might be Hong Kong. But it's basically this giant display piece. It's got Studio Series. It's got number 7. Let me raise the camera up a little bit. It's got number 7 right there. The Transformer movie he came from, which was Age of Extinction, and then you have that one battle scene from the ending of the movie. In dinosaur mode, he can't really fit up there, so that's why I just had him standing in the front of it, but he still looks really cool just standing in front of it as well. But it's a very cool display piece. I'm definitely going to be keeping these whenever I buy these figures. But very, very cool. Very cool. Not disappointed at all. And let's bring in the big guy himself and do our size comparisons. I'm going to have to put him back here because he's quite large. First up, we're just going to do a G1 Dinobot. I don't have G1 Grimlock, so it's just going to be Slag. You see, he's absolutely way bigger, and way heavier too. He's like at least double the weight. Well, not really double. It's more like if you grabbed this guy and took half of his weight and then added it to him, that's about how much he weighs. So, because he has die-cast in him, he has just metal pins and lots of chunky plastic. So, another size comparison is going to be this guy right here. Oh, he doesn't even fit on the screen. Forgot he was way taller than Grimlock. There we go. This is my Zactan Reborn. Zactan from Bionicle. So you can just see just a random mock compared to Grimlock here. So that's pretty cool. And the last comparison, well, not really the last comparison, because I don't own any other Leader Transformers. So my only other Grimlock that's relevant to this. I do have Power of the Primes Grimlock, but it didn't feel like he was relevant to this review, because this is G1 Grimlock and this is movie Grimlock. So here we have this one right here. This is the Age of Extinction Voyager Grimlock versus the Studio Series Leader Grimlock. And I'm just gonna say it right now. This was a great figure. This was an amazing figure. It was way better than the leader, in my opinion. The leader figure was a piece of junk. But when you compare it to this guy is exponentially way better. But then again, this guy's price point is about double his. So he had a lot more leniency for designing him, I'm sure. Well, this guy probably had much more budget, and he had the whole gimmick thing. He has absolutely no gimmicks or anything involved with him. It's just, this Grimlock, he was okay, he just looked really weird. Like, when you look at a dinosaur mode, he looks a lot, like, this head is too big, the body is too small, legs are too thin, tail is his legs, and you kind of look chicken-like. This Grimlock, on the other hand, you can see, I'm gonna set him there, set him there. You see, this Grimlock, he does look weird with his mouth closed though, but you can open that up if you so choose. So you can see right there, this Grimlock is pretty gappy, especially compared to this one right here. He didn't have all that much gaps, he just had that main one going through his body. Which is probably just because I have him transformed wrong. There we go. Kind of fixed it. There we go. You can see the proportions are definitely different here. Like this Grimlock's much more bulky in the chest and the neck region. Now really think about it, the neck doesn't really look as that bad as I thought it did. It's just this piece right here kind of weirds me out. I don't know why. Just something about it just doesn't look natural. I think it looks a little bit too organic. I like this guy's neck a lot more. You can see just the drastic differences going on here. Looking at them both from the front, see just a lot of differences going on here in terms of the way they both look. Not even in the legs, there's some crazy differences. Granted, this one's legs become his actual robot mode legs, this one's legs become his arms, and his tail becomes his legs. So that's why the tail has the spikes on the side, and his legs have the spike on the side, because that's just the way that they were designed to be. Now we're going to get in close and take a look at the heads, because the heads are crazy different. I had to kind of keep Grimlock, leader Grimlock back because he's so freaking huge. You can see they do have a lot of the same design cues, like the spikes there in the nose, the horns, obviously, the teeth being the big ones on the top, but the big ones on the bottom don't exist on this version. And then the blue eyes versus the itty bitty little red eyes. I do like the larger eyes for the Voyager. The tiny red eyes are way more accurate, but I just liked having bigger, less beady eyes. The jaw on this guy kind of bothers me. The bottom jaw anyways, just because I wish this paint right here was at least continued on the bottom jaw. The gray teeth I'm fine with. That doesn't bother me in any way. Would have been cool if they were silver, but the dark gray works with everything else, and it doesn't detract from his robot mode as you probably would have been done in silver. But I do wish that they kept this brushing effect here going through the bottom jaw. That would have been pretty cool. But so that's pretty much for that comparison right there. Not really anything else to really talk about because everything else in this Grimlock is way different because the transformations are vastly different. This does the typical Grimlock transformation. This does not at all. So we're gonna set him off to the side, and then there's Baby Peach for another size comparison. Because why not? I know I have a lot of Baby Peach merchandise. I don't know why. Don't judge me. I like Nintendo. Okay. Now let's get in here and take a closer look at the details. There's a lot of freaking details going on in here. This is why I think it's pretty up close with some of the Masterpiece stuff and the third-party stuff, just because the details in this thing are insane. And this dry brushing effect looks really good. If I had to say there was one part I really don't like about the dinosaur mode, is this rib cage kind of thing right here. It doesn't continue going on this side. It just kind of stops right there, and that's because this is his robot mode back, and then this is his robot mode front. So I mean, they had to do that. There was pretty much no choice unless they made his back look like that weird ribcage design, which would have been a little bit awkward. They definitely favored the robot mode over the dinosaur mode, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'd never display him in this mode anyways, just because he has articulation, but he's more of a brick than anything, just because his head can't move, which kind of kills your articulation anyways. And then the other part I don't really care for is his crotch armor right here. I mean, it's decent when you have it folded down, but I just don't like the way it sticks, like hangs down. I mean, you can see it kind of hanging down. It looks a little bit odd. It would have been nice if it can just fold up a little bit more. And then on my copy, his back skirt here, that forms the bottom of his tail, it's really, really loose and easy to knock down. You can tuck the ends of the tail up on the spikes there on the tail right there, and that will hold it up, but it will also bend these little spike pieces. You can see mine are all bent up from doing that just because it is a soft plastic. The horns are soft plastic, the teeth are soft plastic, these knee spikes here are soft plastic. These aren't soft plastic, which is kind of weird. And then this right here, and then these spikes right there. So that's all soft plastic. Now, as you may know, this figure in robot mode does have 2 dinosaur heads, which as you can see, there is only 1 dinosaur head on this figure. The other one, you may not have noticed it. It's actually hiding back here, forming part of the tail. If you just kind of get the shoulder armor out of the way, or the hip armor more for this mode, and you can flip the head up. As you can see, it's just kind of tucked away down here. You can flip it up, and you can give them 2 heads, or 2 upper jaws, which is super, super weird. But that is where the second head is hiding. It's just right here on the back, and it just splits apart and goes down to the sides and forms the side of the tail, which you can't really tell. The only thing that really gives it away are the teeth right here. Would have been nice if maybe the teeth could like push down or something like that, or flip inward or something, do something like that, just to kind of hide them a little bit more. They do kind of look like they're supposed to be spikes for the tail, but just because the spacing between them is a little bit weird, it kind of doesn't really work. The hand kind of just hanging out right there is a little bit ugly. It doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers a lot of other people. I mean, you don't really notice it when you're looking at them from any other direction other than that side, which is his bad side anyways, just because the way that this section right here works. So that side is pretty much his bad side anyways. This is his good side. So it's all just personal nitpicks everybody has towards every figure. Even masterpieces get them. So that's just the way Transformers are. Articulation, the arm or this section here can wiggle for no reason. You can open and close the jaw. It is just on that one snapping joint, which I don't really like the way he looks at his mouth closed. The gist jaw needs to be a little bit more forward. When it's open, he looks perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with it when he's got his mouth open, which is kind of a bummer. He does have the little ball jointed T-Rex hands. That's it for the articulation in those. The legs here can go up about that far, and they can go down about that far, and this shoulder pad right here can move out of the way to accommodate. He can do the same thing that the other Grimlock did, and he can fly. If you ever watched my other Grimlock review, you understand this reference. He does have the swivel right there, and the knees, which don't really work all that well for the dinosaur mode, but that's just... He's really supposed to just kind of stay in this one static pose, other than slight little adjustments, and then his feet are on ball joints, but very limited ball joints. So that's pretty much it for the dinosaur mode. There's not really anything else to really talk about for it. It's mainly just a brick, pretty much like every other Grimlock T-Rex mode has ever been. Even my masterpieces, they're just bricks. That's just what happens with this kind of transformer. Because you're getting a bipedal humanoid out of this block, which, I mean, T-Rexes in general are just pretty much just giant blocks with a head. So, and now let's get to the transformation, because he definitely has a really, really cool transformation. I really do like it. It's definitely unique, especially compared to most other Grimlocks. So, we're going to start with the legs, and we're going to work our way up. Or we're going to work our way this way and then that way. So, first you want to do is bring these knee spikes outwards. You want to come down to his feet and flip out his robot mode toes, which store in that little hole right there. And then you want to come in here and rotate the feet so that his feet are facing forward. I do wish you could close these toes right here inwards. It is kind of weird with this 3 toes just kind of sticking on the back for heel support, but it does make them very stable, so... that's the only thing I don't like about his robot mode. Everything else I really do like about his robot mode. But, what you want to do next is you want to come here to the hips and untab them. You can see there's a tab there, it goes into the slot. It works the same on both sides, although this side's way more tight. There we go. And you want to untab those, and you want to bring these side skirts down and out of the way. They're on a double hinge, so you just want to get them out because they were up like this for dinosaur mode, and you just want to bring them down. It's kind of like that to get them out of the way to clear this clip right here because you're going to need it. Now what you're going to do, you can kind of rotate the dinosaur head and neck, the T-Rex head and neck to get it out of the way. You're going to flip up the skirting right here, just get it out of your way. Now you're going to unclip this section. It just kind of clips together right here using that little black clip. You're going to unclip it and fold it down. Do the same with the other side. Now this part's a little bit tricky to do, at least on mine anyways, because it's extremely tight. What you're going to do is these are going to come together and they're all going to clip together and form his crotch. You want to clip the halves together before you clip it into the body, because if you clip it into the body, it's not really going to fit in the halves and things are going to turn out really, really weird. So let's see if I can get this done, just because these hip skirts really do like to get in the way quite a bit of maneuvering things. It's kind of annoying just because the way they work. But basically, you want to, if I can get this to work, it's mainly just these hip skirts that make this hard, because sometimes, hang on one second, sometimes they don't like to get out of your way. It's because I don't understand the way the jointing here works. Sometimes they get out of the way perfectly, sometimes they don't, especially on this leg they get out of the way perfectly fine. So I don't know what the problem is. I think you just have to flourish them out like that. There we go. This should work a lot better. So you just want to come in here and give them a good push together. Kind of bring them up. Oh, give me 1 second. This part of the transformation I really, really hate. It's so hard to do. And nothing wants to cooperate with you at all. Come on. There we go. Finally got it, another freaking 30 years. Then after that, you just want to push it up into the body. And then you want to come to the legs. Again, bring the knee spike out. You're going to bring the knee down, bring this up, and it's going to clip in the place right there. And then just straighten out the leg. And you can adjust the knee spike however you want. Do the same on this side. And then kind of straighten out his legs, because his legs will probably get all kinds of messed up while you're trying to do the stupid part of the transformation. That is the one thing I really don't like about this figure. Then you're going to bring down the front skirt and put all these skirting together. And now you have some kind of really weird half human, half dinosaur mode, which is strange looking. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to rotate him at the body. Also, you're going to bring his back skirt down and fold it out, because it is folded up like this. Fold it out and just kind of drop it down to the back. Rotate his waists. We're going to work on this arm first, just because it's got a little bit more involved transformation. Going to untab the bottom jaw. You can see it's got these 2 tabs that go into the slots right there on the outside. You're going to untab all of that. Then you're going to pull the fists out of that little section. You're going to straighten it out, rotate it around so that way the elbow is facing forward, and we're going to mess with all that in just a second. So right now the head is kind of like this. You want to accordion it back so that it is sitting flush with the body, just like so. And what you're going to do after this is you're going to kind of get the little arms out of the way. You're going to bring the jaw up. You're going to make sure that it is in the closed position. And then you're going to snap this part upwards, fold the jaw around, just like so. And there you go. And then you just kind of bring the dinosaur arms in, tuck them in right there to the middle, or do whatever you want with them. I just do that just because I think it's the best look for it. And you pretty much have, hang on, I'm trying to, there we go. And then you also want to, if you want to, you can bring this little spike right here out. It does reveal some extra details in there. That's just if you want though. And then now with this arm, you're just going to bring the two halves of the head up. They will tab together. As you can see, there are tabs and slots and ports and whatnot right there. And then you're going to bring this little piece right here all the way down. You're going to rotate the arm, bring it down a few clicks, come to the hand, flip the tip of the tail inwards, and then get them situated. And the last step of the transformation, which is the coolest part in my opinion, or one of the coolest parts, is the head reveal. He's going to grab at this top section right here, bring this all down, or you kind of want to bring the arms up before you do it. Open up this entire chest section, and you can see his head is like this. You bring it down, flip this entire section around, which will bring the ribcage to the inside, bring it back up, tab that right back into place, and then fold up his horn. And there you go. You pretty much have Studio Series Grimlock in his robot mode. Let me kind of get him way in the back because he's absolutely freaking huge. So I'm going to put him off to the side just real quick just to get the rest of our size comparisons out of the way. Here is Grimlock again. You can see him right there. Here he is with Slag. Just like so. Now the only thing I actually really want to show off between these two Grimlocks is the head. So we're going to kind of somewhat transform him just so I can get it to the point where his chest will flip down. So we can take a look at their heads. So you got this Grimlock's head. Let's see if I can get this in shot. It's kind of hard to do. Okay, so we've got the two heads. This guy's head is a lot more Shredder-like from Ninja Turtles. This one's way more accurate to the movie. I do personally like this guy's head a little bit more just because it's got the whole samurai look, and I love the whole samurai look. His head does look really, really cool. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the head sculpt on this guy, which we'll try to show. There you go. Kind of see it. Sort of. My camera doesn't want to focus on it. There we go. You can see he's got a very, very cool looking head sculpt. I do like it, even though it does kind of look like that one ship that they were flying around in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. You know, that one, the mining vehicle. His head's got that kind of shape to it, which is a little bit weird. And then we'll bring back Zactan Reborn, who is still way taller than Leader Grimlock. But that's just because Bionicles are absolutely massive toys anyways, so that's just the way they are. But so we're gonna come in, take a look at all the details. You can see the bottom jaw, chest plate right there, the shoulder heads, which I honestly don't understand how this is supposed to work canonically, because he's got the back of the heads right here, and their eyes are painted. Why does the T-Rex have two heads in robot mode? That's what confuses me. Because this is clearly supposed to be like the bottom jaw splits into two and goes onto his chest. That makes sense. But why is there two heads? That's just weird. The way that the Voyager does it makes sense, because it's just the one head that splits into two, and that seems like that's how that would work. But I have no idea. I don't know what they were thinking when they made the design, but it is cool though. I do like that they did paint the eyes on the back, since, I mean, if you're gonna put them there, you might as well paint them. Coming back down, looking at the skirt armor, which looks really freaking cool. It's got the spike ball hand. It doesn't do anything. It's just a brick there, which is accurate to the movie, but I kind of wish you could take it off, just reveal another hand like this or something. But it is pretty cool though. I like the way it transforms and the way it works. Coming down to his legs, which look absolutely freaking awesome, except for the weird toes on the back, but it's grown on me a little bit. Coming to the back, as you can see, this guy has absolutely no kibble on him whatsoever. I guess you could call the toes kibble, but other than that, there is no kibble on this guy. I guess you could call the back toes, maybe you can call that kibble, but they don't move, so there's not really anything you can do with it. And then these arms right here are kind of kibble-ish, but I think they look more like a weapon than anything. Because they tuck away perfectly fine and they don't get in the way of anything, so they don't really detract from the appearance of the figure either. So I mean, I don't know, but Articulation, his head is on a ball joint. He got some pretty nice wiggly waggly. He can look down quite a bit. Can't really look up, but you can cheat it if you use the transformation joint right there, which doesn't look too bad because he's still got the detail on the inside, so that looks pretty cool. And then you can turn about that far. The shoulders are a little bit weird. They are ratcheted, and then they can go up about that far. And they don't ratchet when they go down. They ratchet when they go up, but not when they go down, which is super, super weird, but that's a thing. The arms do go in and out. They don't go in and out all that much just because that piece right there stops them. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have an elbow joint that goes kind of inward, which is weird. This hand does have a wrist swivel. This hand is pretty much the exact same articulation as a different ratchet. I'm pretty sure the ratchets of mine are kind of broken just because they don't really make all that much sense, because this one is it's more of a soft ratchet and clicks every once in a while. This one kind of clicks every once in a while. I don't know. His arms are really, really weird. I don't know if that's just mine or what. He does have a waist swivel due to transformation. He can go about that far until it stops, which is more than enough. The front skirt here can move out of the way. The side skirts can move around to some extent. The legs can go about that far forward, and they can, if you move the back skirt out of the way, which can move out of the way crazy far, the legs will go about that far backwards. The first knee, his actual knee, gives you about that much bend. If you disconnect the transformation joint, he will get a full knee bend, although that looks super, super weird. And I don't really advise it because that thin piece right there, which my camera doesn't want to focus on it. You see that really, really thin piece of plastic right there. I wouldn't advise trying to balance his weight on that. So, but it is there if you would like to use it. And just kind of bring his side skirts down. And then, of course, his feet are on ball joints. You can get some tilting. He's got more tilting than Dinosaur Mode just because the foot here, the toe doesn't lock into place. And then he's got the thigh swivel right there. And then he's got super, super tight ankle swivels. So all the joints on this guy are super, super tight. Nothing on him is floppy. And, of course, you can move the little knee spikes around if you wish to do that. But overall, this figure is absolutely freaking amazing. I have pretty much nothing negative to say about this robot mode. I know a lot of people don't really like the asymmetry between the arms, especially between the way that right there is supposed to be mimicking this. I honestly like it. It gives it a really cool look. It would have been cool if somehow this was the more bulky arm, because it's got the spike ball, and then it would have the more bulk to it and everything like that. But the way that it is doesn't bother me at the slightest. He doesn't include any weapons whatsoever except for that spike ball on his hand. He doesn't include his mace, which is a little bit of a bummer. It would have been cool if he included the mace or some sort of spring-loaded shooting weapon of some kind, even if it's not accurate to the movie. It still would have been really cool to get some sort of weapon to have him hold, but he just still does look really, really cool just kind of standing there, hovering over your other Transformers just because he's so big. I definitely recommend this guy. He's definitely got at least like a 9.8 out of 10. The one thing that makes me not really like him is the transformation for the hips. I don't really like doing that at all. It is really difficult to do, and nothing likes to really cooperate with you. And other than that, this figure's perfect, in my personal opinion anyways. But yeah, guys, do be expecting some retro Bionicle reviews coming up this week. I do have some new Bionicle, or not really new. I have some old Bionicle that I've been buying. I've been taking a break from Transformers and for a while, and been getting back into mock building, as you can see with Zactin over there. So this will be the last Transformer review for a little bit at least. I've got some Power of the Primes stuff. I got some Dinobots. I got 3 of the Dinobots. I've got Ripper Snapper. I've got a few Transformers and things like that to review. And things like that. So, well, guys, I am Shockwave640, and this is Leader Grimlock, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be seeing you later, my little Logicons. Peace!